What is going on, my dummies, and welcome back to another Digimon Deck Tech for 1.5. In today's episode, we're going over a very powerful deck. My take on it. This deck is known by people to either really love this deck or really hate this deck. I don't think there's really an in-between on that. Either you hate that it abuses the game, or you love it because it's super good. But regardless where your personality falls on that, you have to respect this deck regardless. I'm going to go over this deck. At least this is my brew of it. There are tons of them on the internet. Go and find them. Basically, this is Blue-Green Rookie Rush. The main cores of the deck we'll get to. I'll make sure you see them. Everything else is to your opinion, whatever you want to play. Nothing else. So without further ado, I'm going to get into this. For a Digitama, yes, we do play those. We play a 4 of Veeamon. Veeamon is just a generic, really powerful Digitama in and of its own right. He says, when inheritable skill when attacking once per turn. If your Digimon has a Wow! If your opponent has a Digimon with no Digivolution sources, trigger, draw 1. Veeamon's just powerful. Especially in a deck that likes to run stuff out, Veeamon allows us to keep gaining that card advantage. And the only way our opponent is able to keep up with us is by playing these hard megas and stuff. And that triggers Veeamon to start drawing us cards. Whether we have 1 or 2 of them on the battlefield, our opponent doesn't want that to happen. Moving forward next, we have a Lectmon. He is 2 to play normally, 0 to evolve, 3000 DP. He is just a generic vanilla Digimon from set 1. Nothing else really spectacular about him. We evolve him most of the time. He's 2 to play, which is also a really nice feature. But he's not by any means one of the best cards in this deck. Moving forward, we have a 4 of Gabumon. This is one of those must-haves. You need this to build this deck. He is 3 to play normally, 0 to evolve, 1000 DP. On play, trigger, draw 1. So we will be playing this from our hand most times than not, and we don't want to Digivolve unless we have to. Moving forward, we have a 4 of Veeamon from set 1. This is from set 1.5. He is 3 to play normally, 1 to evolve, which, again, with the Gabumon, we normally want to hard play this. We don't want to evolve into it. 5000 DP, which is pretty good. The reason we want to play this Veeamon, and there is another one lower down, I think there's 2 more lower down that have 5000. The reason we want to play these Digimon that have 5000 DP and are level 3s are because Shine Greymon has to use an extra 4000 to destroy it. Shine Greymon would normally have a good nuking effect against this deck, and then they can just control out the rest of the game. You don't want them to stabilize. You want them to be forced into an awkward situation where they have to put an additional 4000 into that Digimon, and that's where we're coming from with why we're playing these 5000 beat sticks. Because if you, at the end of the day, it costs the same amount to play this Gabumon as it does to play the Veeamon. And if they have to use their 2 tamers that they have from Shine, then they have to waste both of them on the Veeamon. So that's why we play the 5000 DP rookies. Moving forward, this is another card you definitely want in this deck is Veeamon. We play him as a 4 of. He's 3 to play normally, 0 to evolve, 2000 DP. He has jamming. He ignores all Digimon in the security. So that is a very powerful effect, especially if we have a Veeamon up under him. We're drawing a card, we're ignoring the security, so on and so forth. Moving forward, we have another Digimon in Penguinmon. This is another one of the 5000. This is the blue one. 3 to play normally, 1 to evolve, 5000 DP. Of course, we'll be hard playing him as much as possible. Moving forward, we have another clone in Goemon. Goemon is a clone of Lectmon. He's 2 to play normally, 0 to evolve, 3000 DP. He's here basically as a draw filter for Veeamon. Also, he's one of the cheapest things we can play from the deck, so that's also a positive. Moving forward, we have Aruramon. Okay. We have Palmon's virus type, or data type, sorry. It is 2 to play normally and 2 to evolve, 5000 DP. Of course, we can't evolve in this deck. All of our Digitamas are blue, so we'll be hard playing this. This is in here for a option card we play in the deck. We actually play a few. But we have 12 enablers for those option cards, so we should be able to get to them relatively quickly. If you find yourself not being able to get to them, what I would recommend is trying to change these Gomamons here to... I'm pretty sure the name, or... Sorry. The Argumon is one of them, and the other one that was on my mind is Goblymon. So just the colored version, or the green colored version of Gomamon, just to replace it. If you find yourself hard pressed on trying to get these green option cards off. But Auroromon, 5000 DP of course, so it stops our opponent from being able to kill it with Shine Greymon once, and that's also good. Moving forward, we have a 4 of Terriermon. This is more of a personal choice of mine. I don't see a lot of other decks playing it, but Terriermon's 3 to play normally, 0 to evolve, 2000 DP. We're not evolving it, we're just hard playing it. During all turns, your opponent can't gain memory except for Tamer effects. The reason I like playing this card is because if we're playing the mirror match against Blue-Green Rookie Rush, if they have Puppetmons, if they have Hammer Sparks, they can't gain that memory back because Terriermon says it can't, where we still can if they don't have the Terriermon out. So keep that in mind. I really do like Terriermon for that particular purpose. But moving forward, we have quote-unquote the boss monster of the deck. A 4 of Puppetmon. He's 11 to play normally, which we'll be doing. 3 to evolve on a level 5, which we will not be doing. 10,000 DP. He says on play, we suspend one of our opponent's Digimon. During our opponent's next unsuspend phase, none of our opponent's Digimon can unsuspend. When we attack with him, we gain a memory. Overall, Puppetmon is in here to control out the game and slow it down if we have to. Just like Terriermon, they're both in here to try to slow our opponent down if we're not fast enough, or they start doing something crazy, like they just straight up play a Mega that has security attack +1, and we're like, great. Puppetmon's here for that. He's here to slow down our opponent if they start doing things we don't like them to do. Aggro decks need some kind of form of control, otherwise they have steam issues that they deal with. Like, you don't draw much in this deck, but Puppetmon can at least give you an extra turn where you normally wouldn't have it. Moving forward, we play a 4 of Hammer Spark. Hammer Spark is... I don't like Hammer Spark very much. If you've watched any of my videos, you will know that Hammer Spark is not my favorite card at all. I don't like how it really doesn't do anything other than a -1 to gain a memory. It is 0 to play normally. Main effect, gain 1 memory. The security effect gains 2. This is in here because it's with an aggro deck, 1 memory does make a difference. 1 memory can cause you to end your turn when you don't want to. On top of which, having multiple Hammer Sparks could allow us to play an additional Digimon, making it harder for our opponent to get what they're trying to do off and give us the more tempo that we need. Also, the security effect. Like, I will be the first one to tell you, if you play a card because of the security effect, the card is probably a bad card. But the security effect on this does have potential to end our opponent's turn, and since we are playing Rookie Rush, we should have Digimon on the battlefield to be able to attack into their security and then play a Digimon to end, giving our opponent 1 to 2 memory back. So that's another reason why Hammer Spark is a very powerful card for this particular deck. Moving forward, we play a 4 of a Flower Cannon. I think I went a little overboard with a 4 of a Flower Cannon, but I don't dislike it. Flower Cannon is 2 to play normally. The main effect suspends one of our opponent's Digimon, and the security effect suspends all of our opponent's Digimon without blocker. This on the security stack will stop our opponent from attacking through. This also allows us to suspend one of our opponent's Digimon on their turn, meaning we can get blockers down. Another replacement you can play for this, I've seen a lot of people playing this new card. This is 1.0. Give me a second. Let me get up to 1.5. I gotta find it. Sorry, guys. I'm very unprepared for this. Here it is. We have to stop fighting. This is another card you can play in its spot because it's very cheap. However, normally when I play this, or see this played, it's kind of awkward because you don't have the memory most times you want for it. Unless you have the Davis out, or your opponent gives you more memory than they expected to give you. This is when it's the only way it matters. But Flower Cannon at least has an ability in the security zone that feels better, and we can suspend the blocker that's normally in the way. Moving forward to our last two cards, we play a 3-of Positron Laser. Positron Laser is arguably one of the most powerful removal spells in this deck. I don't think you can even say that there's a close second. This card is insane in this deck. It's 6 to play normally. The main effect, up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block until the end of their opponent's next turn. Then, if you have a blue Digimon in play, return one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon or suspended Digimon to their hand. So this essentially stops 3 things from our opponent. So if we're able to get in and swing, we can stop them from swinging back from us, and if we have enough Digimon, we can close out the game the very next turn. This is a super powerful card. On the off chance, you can also use it as a control factor to slow our opponent down, even if we don't have the home field, not home field advantage, but the board presence that we need, and our opponent has more. This slows them down to the point where we get back to a stable situation where we're not automatically losing. However, the security effect pretty much does the same thing. Up to 2 of our opponent's Digimon can attack for the turn. Then, if you have a blue Digimon in play, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to their hand. So this means, like, when it's checked as security, we can stop up to 3 attacks in total. Well, I guess 2 attacks, and then we get to bounce something back. So, Positron Laser is a very powerful removal spell or option. I'm surprised it actually doesn't cost more, but Positron Laser definitely a must-go-to in blue-green. Moving forward, we play a 4-of Davis. He's probably the best tamer for this deck. Initially meant for Imperial Dramon, but because of set 3 or 1.5, Imperial Dramon is both blue and green. They supported the archetype together, just like Positron Laser. Davis supports both. Davis, security effect, puts him into play without paying the cost. Great card. At the start of our turn, if we have 2 or less memory, we gain, or our memory becomes 3, meaning we're capable of being able to play 2 to 3 Digimon in one turn instead of just 1. So that's a good positive. Plus, on play, we reveal the top 3 cards of our deck. We get to add 1 blue and 1 green Digimon from among them to our hand. Put the remaining on the bottom of the deck in a random order, or in any order. That allows us to get our Puppetmon, our Terriermon, and our Palmon 2.0. Along with some of our blues. That's why we play so many green cards. Our option cards need to trigger, and Davis allows us to get them to the hand. Plus, Davis allows us to trigger Hammer Spark if we don't have but green Digimon on the battlefield. But, guys, that is the deck. Like I said, this deck, you either love this deck or you hate this deck. There's no in-between. I will say that it is very powerful, and you should respect it. No matter what deck you're playing, you need to respect that this deck exists. Cards that you can play to counter this, just in case you need to know. Volcanic Dramon is the first one that comes to my mind. Let me get down here to him. Volcanic Dramon is the first one that comes to my mind. Now, of course, one thing that this deck does do is they do play the 5,000 DP rookies, so Volcanic Dramon doesn't deal with them. Another deck is Shine Greymon because you're able to give minus 4K. However, remember with Shine Greymon that you have to get that set up, and sometimes it's too slow to get there. Other cards that you can play if you're in yellow, for example, and you want to be able to control the game out. I'm in the wrong set. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying. I promise I'm trying. Another one you can play is Lightning Paw. This gives minus 4,000 to 3 level 3 Digimon. This can stop our opponent if they don't have the level 5s. They play up to 3 Digimon. You can Lightning Paw them. And literally, it's only 3 memory. So you're gaining so much momentum into your favor. On top of which, they're not drawing a bunch off of this. So that's another card that you can play in response. Not a lot else I can think of off the top of my head. And somebody's probably screaming, Dame, pay attention. But if you can think of a card that actually would help you against Rookie Rush, please leave it in the comments. I promise I will pin all the ones that I see. That way everybody can learn how to beat said deck or what to look for in set deck so your opponent doesn't just waffle swamp you. Yes, I said that wrong. It's fine. But if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Comment down below. Let me know any cards that I missed. Cards that you're playing in your blue-green list that is different than my own list. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Every subscription helps the channel grow. And the more subscriptions I get from Digimon content, the faster I try to get it out for you guys. But until next time, have a blessed one.